At a place where tourists go in Paris, a naked woman wiggled through the crowd. Everyone was shocked and surprised when they saw her. At the same time, Michael, a master pickpocket, started stealing from everyone he could. He stole wallets, cell phones, and many other things, while everyone was too interested in the naked woman's free show. It turned out that the woman was Michael's friend, who he had paid 300 euros to distract everyone while he stole their stuff. After that, Michael sold the stolen things to an offender named Baba and got 900 euros in another way. Jean put a bomb inside a doll and gave it to Zoe, who was his girlfriend. She was told to put the bomb in a building while dressed up as someone else. Even though she was unsure, Jean was able to get her to do the job. Zoe went into the building to plant the bomb after putting on a blonde wig. But just as she was about to leave, a group of people from the cleaning service showed up. She couldn't kill those people because she didn't want to. She left the building in the end and called Jean. She told him that there were people inside and that she wanted to stop the mission, but the bomb was about to go off. Zoe said she would throw the bomb into the river, but Jean kept telling her to stick to the plan. She was too afraid to do it, so she hung up the phone. It turned out that Jean was with two other men named Raffi, and the leader of their group is Christophe Raffi. At the same time, Michael was drinking on the other side of the street while looking around for someone to pickpocket, when all of a sudden, he saw Zoe with a bag in her hand and taking her wig off. Michael thought the bag had valuable things in it, so he took it right away when Zoe wasn't looking. After that, Michael opened the bag and found an old doll and a tea. The phone rang out of the blue, so he picked it up. Michael hung up the phone as soon as he heard G on the other end. He then tossed the bag off the side of the road. When Michael walked away, the bomb went off, and the shock threw him back. Even though the bomb didn't go off where it was supposed to, it still scared the people. Raffi sent a threat to the French government right away, saying that the bomb was just the first of many more to come and that Paris would fall in 36 hours. Journalists came in droves to ask Mr. Victor was in charge of French spy work. Victor promised that the bombers would be caught soon and that the Bastille Day parade would go on as planned. Usually, France celebrates its independence on Bastille Day. It turned out that Michael had been caught on camera. The CIA and Inter got a picture of him. Tom and Karen, who were in charge of the CIA surveillance unit in Paris, told a special agent named Sean Breyer that he was being too careless on his missions and that he planned to disobey orders. But he said he did all of those things because he knew what the risks were and because the most important thing was that the mission was done. The CIA heard about the bombing because a total of 8 people died because of it. After getting Michael's picture, he was able to be identified. Michael was born in Las Vegas. His father was the boss of a casino, and his mother sold houses. Michael used to be a good student who wanted to go to college. When his father died and left him with gambling debts, Michael had to drop out of high school. Since then, he has often used fraud to get by in different countries, until he finally ended up in France. Michael has called his mother twice from the same payphone in the last 18 months. So, Sean was given the job of secretly arresting Michael in the apartment around the payphone. Michael would then be handed over to the French government, which was looking for him. Michael felt that something wasn't right. He decided to run away, but Sean found Michael's apartment just as he was climbing onto the roof to get away. Sean tried to catch Michael, but he finally got away. He found someone just parked a bike. He stole the key and tried to get away on the bike, but Sean saw him and grabbed him, making him fall off the bike. Michael was then asked a lot of questions. Sean asked him why he had set off the bomb and what group he was with at the time. Frightened, Michael said that he put the bag there, but he actually stole it from a woman who was wearing a blonde wig. Michael knew the woman's name was Zoe, and he thought that her bag was full of valuable things. After all of Michael's explanations, Sean finally believed him when he said he was a pickpocket. Sean asked him to rob him of his wallet. Michael did a great job of doing the job. He not only stole Sean's wallet, but also took the money out of it and gave it back to Sean. Michael took a knife from the table at Jean's house when he was told to sit down again. Zoe looked very worried because she thought she had killed the 4 people in the accident. While this was going on, Raffi and Jean didn't know much about the boy who had taken their bag. Raffi and his men soon showed up at Jean's house to kill Zoe. Jean told her to leave right away when he found out that Zoe was nowhere to be found when Rai got there. Then, they tried to follow the signal from her phone and found where she was. To avoid suspicion, they didn't know that Sean and Michael had the phone with them. When Rai realized something was wrong, he dressed up as a mailman. Sean got his gun ready, and Michael was able to cut his ties and sneak out of there. Sean then attacked Raffi and his men, but they kicked his and ran away. Sean then told Tom what had just happened, but all Tom wanted was for Michael to be arrested as soon as possible. Sean didn't follow the rules because he thought there was more going on. He also decided to find out where Zoe was so he could find out more at the office. Victor met Raffi, who turned out to be the leader of a French special police force called Rapid. All of a sudden, they heard that there was a terrorist in the settlement of Arabian immigrants. The job of checking was given to Raffi and the rest of the Rapid police. When they finally got there, they raided the place while one of them put a bomb there to blame the immigrants there and then made up a story about it. All of the immigrants were finally caught, and Michael was the only one still on the run. Michael didn't know where to go, so he went to Baba to get away from the police. After he heard the explanation, Baba took him to the top floor of his house. But Baba's family appeared out of nowhere when Michael wasn't looking. It turned out that the government had paid Baba to put Michael in jail. His family was promised citizenship because of what he did. All the outside doors were locked because everyone knew Michael got scared and tried to run away. Rafi and his quick team were there. Michael was lucky to find a crack in the wall. He dug a hole and hid there, waiting for the right moment to run away. After that, he ran out, but he didn't tell him. On the roof, there was already a sniper ready to shoot. He was lucky that Sean came to save him before he was killed by a gunshot. Zoe was in trouble, but she was able to get to her friend's base and ask for shelter. Sean and Michael came later that afternoon after they found out where Zoe was. Zoe's friends were easy to bring down, but a few of them went outside and set Sean's car on fire. Zoe and Flea were also taken. From there, Sean had to steal a car from a bystander in order to catch them, but they had already left. Sean then found out where a friend of Zoe's worked. He and Michael went there right away. Since Zoe's friend knew him, he told Michael to go inside and use his ability to pick pockets to get Zoe's friend's ID card. Michael looked at the situation quickly and came up with a plan to steal the ID that was as clean as possible. They went right to the address on the ID card, where Zoe was waiting for them. Sean told Zoe that he would teach her a lesson. Sean knew Zoe wasn't a terrorist and that all she did was deliver packages for them. Then Zoe finally told Sean that her boyfriend Gene had told her to do it. They went to Gene's apartment but ran into Rafi on the way. Luckily, they were able to get away. Zoe then gave a timeline of when she was told to bring the bomb. The bomb was supposed to be an attack against fascism, but because there were people in the building, Zoe decided to cancel the attack. After that, she had no idea about anything. She never found out why the attack happened. Elsewhere, a large anti-fascist protest was held because Arab immigrants in a mosque were attacked for no reason. Some random people also started online protests to bring people together to help with the anti-fascism movement. In a short amount of time, there were already a lot of people who backed the. When a video on the internet showed police torturing Arab protesters, the situation got even worse. However, it turned out that the video was just a scene Rafi made to make things even worse. When they got to Gene's apartment, they found out that Rafi had hanged Gene. Zoe was very upset to learn this. Sean looked at Gene's body and saw a tattoo on her arm. He also found out that Gene was in Rapid and was the leader of the group. Sean finally figured out that Gene and Rafi, along with other people, had been pretending to be police. He told Tom about it right away. He also told Tom that he was with Michael and Zoe. He wrote about the dishonest people. Rapid Squad was the group that bombed the mosque full of Arab immigrants who had been slandered. Karen said that if the CIA didn't have the power to do this, she would give the case to France and T. So, they planned to tell Victor, the Minister of Internal Affairs, about this and give him Zoe and Michael. The next day, Karen met up with Victor and told him that the undercover police, not the Arab immigrants, were really behind the bombing. This means that there is a terrorist plot among the police. After being told where Sean, Zoe, and Michael were, Karen turned over the people who knew about what was going on. Victor told his men to go get them, but before they could, Victor shot Karen. It turned out that Victor was the one who planned the whole thing. He set off bombs and made threats against Arab immigrants in order to make the city even more chaotic. The online protesters were another part of their plan to make things harder. Victor called Rafi right away to have them arrested, and then he killed all three of them in a safe place. Shortly after Rai's man picked up Sean, Zoe, and Michael Zoe, Zoe remembered that one of the people in the car was Rai's man, who had come to kill her in the A. Jeans and Sean both saw the same tattoo. He attacked the men inside there all of a sudden. In the meantime, the online protester had gotten support from millions of people. They asked everyone to show up at the National Bank of France while Victor gave a press conference. Victor said that he would give the National Bank the highest level of security by telling Rapid to protect it. Sean told Tom about everything because he was sure Karen was already dead. He told Tom that everything is planned by Victor. Victor and his partner were not terrorists, but they did plan to rob the France National Bank. To avoid being caught, they came up with a very clever way to rob the bank. Even though Victor is in charge of France's intelligence, Tom still didn't believe it. Then Sean decided to keep the bank safe on his own. Sean finally went with Michael and Zoe to fight the police inside the bank. He told them to wait. They tried to stop Sean, but he was already set on what he wanted to do. He posed as a police officer and went into the bank, where he was able to knock down some of the police guarding the front door. Then he took one of the guns and went inside. Inside, the police were put in charge of the whole system. Then, they turned off all the security alarms and cameras inside the bank. Rai and Christoph went into the room with the gold, but they didn't want the gold. Instead, they wanted the 500 million euros worth of digital money, which they put on a flash drive. Sean's killer was finally caught. Rai asked the police right away to surround the man and kill him. When Zoe and Michael heard that Sean was trapped, they decided to help. They started the riot and got into the bank when Sean was cornered and about to be shot. They did this by charging at the police barricades when Sean was about to be shot. Sean went to the top floor and pointed his gun at Rai, who had just finished sending the money. Rai took the flash drive right away, which was bad, and Sean was attacked with a flashbang. Gunfire kept going back and forth until Sean put a grenade in a box and threw it at Rai and Christoph. After Rafi was locked in a different room, Sean attacked Christoph right away and killed him. Only Rafi remained. Victor called at that moment to cancel the mission, but Rai said it was too late, since the flash drive already had all the money on it. Rai said that if he was caught, he would take Victor with him to prison. While this was going on, Sean asked Michael to help him get the flash drive from Rye. Michael was able to get the flash drive back because he knew how to steal. Raffi finally realized that he had lost the flash drive. He tried to find Michael, but everyone was using A. He scared everyone with his gun and held Zoe as a hostage so he could make Michael show himself and bring the flash drive back to the office. Victor didn't want his name to be ruined, so he told the police to kill Rye, who was a bad cop. Rye was killed right away by the shots, but Michael was able to get away from the chaos. After what happened, Victor got a prize for finding the corrupt police group, but Michael was still on the run. After that, Victor went to Baba and asked him where Michael was. Baba said he didn't know where Michael was after that. Victor told Baba to tell everyone that someone was willing to pay a lot of money for the flash drive. Michael went to the agreed-upon place to meet the buyer, who turned out to be Victor, after getting information from Baba. As long as the flash drive is given to him, Victor would pay $100,000 and make Michael an international passport. After Michael gave Victor the flash drive, Victor took him to a basement where he was going to shoot him to get rid of any witnesses. However, it turned out that it was all a trick because Michael, Sean, and the police had already trapped Victor there. Again, he told the truth. Victor was finally caught at the end of the movie.